best ever at his position. Number 49, the acrobatic Dennis Smith, is the premier big play artist and one of the best strong safeties in the game. Defensive end Rulon Jones made his first appearance in a Pro Bowl last year and was also MVP of the Broncos defense. And the man who played at least 7 positions on the defense is all everything, or should I say all everywhere, Carl Mecklenburg.
People say if they can key on me and try and double team me or something, they're going to stop us, but they're not going to stop us. We got 11 guys out there. It's not me.
Right outside linebacker Tom Jackson, a 14-year veteran, is the inspirational leader of the Orange Crush, a defense that has been remarkably consistent over the years.
I think if there's one contributing factor, it's the fact that the staff, namely Joe Collier as our defensive coordinator, has remained the same. And I think he has a certain philosophy of defense that he likes to use. He brings in certain types of athletes to play the kind of defenses that he wants, and I think that's how we've maintained our consistency.
We've had a lot of veterans that have been with us for a long time, plus I think we've had the same defensive coaching staff for the last 10, 12 years. I think when you don't have a coaching change on our particular side of the ball, then, you know, you don't have changes in defensive schemes and so forth, and consequently your players come back and are pretty confident what they're doing.
Confidence is something that John Elway lacked when he came into the league. Now in his 4th year, he's developed into one of the finest quarterbacks in the business. And Denver, after years of relying on a great defense to win games, now has a bona fide offense to match.
Well, they carried us quite a bit the first week. We gave up 36 and still won the game, which is, you know, that would have been unusual in the mid-70s here, but you know, the offense has come on strong and probably the best balanced squad I've ever been a part of.
I talked to Coach Dan Reeves, and he said there had never been a team that had gone to the Super Bowl that wasn't a well-balanced team. And for the first time in a long time, Denver has a well-balanced team. Now, I asked him, was this the best team that he had coached since he'd been there? And he said, well, I'll have to wait till December. But the fans in Denver, they won't wait till December because they're talking Super Bowl now.
Now, there's a blow to their offense, though.
The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Veterans Stadium, it's the Denver Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By Chrysler Plymouth. We're working together to be the best. And by Castrol, the motor oil engineered for today's smaller cars.
A 75-degree hot and humid day at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, and the Broncos and the Eagles are getting ready. Hi, everybody. Marv along with Bob Griese, and today a matchup of 2 teams that have gone in opposite directions over the first couple of weeks of the season. However, the Broncos come off a short week and a week of extensive travel. They go from Denver to Pittsburgh for Monday night, Pittsburgh back to Denver, then Denver with another flight back here to Philadelphia. You have enough trouble getting from the hotel to the ballpark. How's that going to affect the Broncos?
That's going to be very tough, and I think it's going to be a big factor in this ball game today. The NFL doesn't like to schedule that way, but 4 teams in the last 2 years have had to play Monday night and then again away on Sunday. None of those teams have won 2 games in a row.
However, John Elway is off to his best start in the NFL.
The thing about John Elway is his confidence and his maturity. He is unquestionably the leader of this offense, and for the Denver Broncos, the key to this game today.
All right, how about the Philadelphia Eagles? What are the keys for Buddy Ryan and his Eagles?
Well, the Eagles have to have that old philosophy, that old KISS philosophy. They have to keep it simple, stupid. Defensively, the Broncos do so many things on their defense that offensively, the Eagles just have to keep it simple and make sure they don't make any mistakes on offense.
And what about new head coach Buddy Ryan, who's been the center of much publicity, obviously not shy about his opinions?
Well, he's not shy with his opinions and his comments towards his players. A lot of that is tongue-in-cheek. And, of course, a lot of it is meant to encourage his players. Buddy does it in a different way. And, of course, all the coaches around the National Football League do it their own way, and whatever works, and that is Buddy's personality.
So Buddy has spotted the rest of the NFC East with that 0-2 start. Denver comes in at 2-0. This the 5th time that the Broncos and the Eagles have met. Eagles have won 3 of 4. Their last meeting back in 1983 in Denver, won by Philadelphia 13-10. That's the first home game for John Elway. The Eagles won the toss. As you look at head coach Dan Reeves, And the Eagles will receive. Back deep. The rookie from Washington State, Junior Tatalatasi, and a rookie out of Oklahoma State, Charles Crawford. Rich Paulus getting set to kick it off. It was Crawford who fumbled in overtime that led to the Bears' victory last week. And it's Tatalatasi on the return. And good coverage led by Ken Woodard, leading to the fumble. Ends up in the end zone, and it's kicked out of the end zone. And let's see how they will call it.
Marv, it looked to me as though one of the Philadelphia players intentionally knocked the ball out of the end of the end zone.
The rookie, Junior Tatalatasi, a surprise of preseason, coughing it up off the hit by Ken Woodard.
It's an automatic safety for the receiving team to intentionally knock the ball over the back of the end zone. And that'd be a safety for the Denver Broncos.
And an auspicious start as we get another look at it.
2 years ago, the Broncos were so tough turning the ball over. They have drills in training camp where they intentionally try to knock the ball loose, fumble recoveries, working on the ball. Last year they weren't as successful, but this year they're getting back to their old ways and turning the ball over.
So Buddy Ryan here in the opening seconds trailing 2-0 on the safety.
Of course, Tatalatasi, a rookie 10th round draft choice from Washington State, came in and really was the talk of training camp for the Eagles. Did some outstanding things, broke some returns for touchdowns. 4 of the 5 running backs on the roster for the Eagles are first-year players. As you take another look at Woodard making the initial wrap, and then Harden, 31, knocking the ball loose. That defense, a lot of those defensive players playing on special teams like to go after the football.
And the Eagles now with a free kick, so the punter, the rookie from Texas, Elchick, coming off a very rough day against the Bears last week. Here's Gerald Wilhite, who muffs it. Slippery hands here in the opening minute. Kenny Jackson on the cut. Steve Watson is the big play man for the Broncos. And up front, Paul Howard starting at right guard, replacing the injured Mark Cooper. Watson is to the left, the far side, and Sampson to the near side. First down for the Broncos. And that's Wilhite in motion. Elway for Wilhite. Down at the 21, covered up by the outside linebacker, Gary Cobb. And defensively, and of course with the 46 defense, we'll see lots of shuffling, but in the 4-3, Darby, Clark, White, and Brown up front. Mike Reichenbach, middle linebacker, calling the defensive signals for the Eagles in the force. In the slot as the receiver with a second down and 6, and that is Bertie Sewell in motion. And on a fake reverse, Sammy Winder has the first down and some more. Evan Cooper, the right corner, ran him out, so the Broncos with a first down.
Talk so much about Buddy Ryan's 46 defense, Marv. The first 2 plays, they've come out in a straight 4-3. Denver coming out, running a couple of basic plays just to see what kind of defense they're going to get. Let's go back to that punt as we take a look at Sammy Winder faking the reverse and then picking up some nice yardage. That punt after the safety by Telcher went 70 yards before it was muffled by Wilhite.
Up the middle, Winder. Nice cut. Sammy Winder inside the Eagle 40. Shot by Johnson and Young. A 31-yard run.
Dan Reeves not happy with his run production so far this year. Went into training camp saying we need more out of our running game. Our passing game, we can throw the ball, as you'll take a look right here, 26th in the league this year running the football right up the middle. Good straight blocking. Reichenbach, Hopkins, 48, doesn't make the play, and then Winder picks up some yards on his own.
And Denver first down at the Philadelphia 36-yard line. They lead it here 2-0. Wilhite. And Gerald Wilhite pushed back. Middle linebacker Mike Reichenbach in his third season out of East Stroudsburg. Second down, 7. At the Eagle 33. And again to the ground. Wilhite broke a tackle. Getting inside the 35. Again, it's Reichenbach on the stop. Gerald Wilhite, the man who threw the...
With anybody in the National Football League, they were not good enough to dominate them. And we like to keep them loose with some gimmicks.
Third down, 7. 3 minutes gone by. Movement in the line. Elway throwing one. And overthrows Clint Sampson, the intended receiver. And a penalty flag is down. Referee today is Dick Hantak. It's against the Eagles. Hantak in his 9th year.
What do you think, huh?
Very nice. He's ready. Third down and 2 off the penalty. At the Eagles 28. Broncos with a 2-0 lead here in the opening minutes of the first quarter. Sandy Winder. Inside the 25. Wes Hopkins, free safety, making the stop. Wes Hopkins in the 4-6, though, is now combination free safety / linebacker. An unusual situation for him.
Well, he led this team last year, the Eagles, in defense, defensive tackles from that free safety spot. And he's going to be making a lot of tackles, you can be sure, because now in that 46, he's going to be up there playing a linebacker a great deal.
First down for Denver. Inside the Eagles. 25. Sewell splits wide left side. Elway looking for Sewell. Incomplete. Cunningham, Pittsburgh leading Minnesota. 2nd and 10. Ball to the 24. Here's Wilhite. Gets the block. And has the first down. Paul Howard, the right guard, setting it up for Gerald Wilhite. Mark Cooper setting it out with a slightly separated shoulder. The injury taking place Monday night against Pittsburgh. At first it was thought to be a bruise, but Dan Reeves comes in with the 13-year veteran Paul Howard.
And a fine block by Howard at 36 years of age. The oldest Bronco comes in and does a great job on that play of springing the runner.
First down at the 13. Now Lang and Winder are the setback. Sampson in motion. Elway in chase, throws end zone. Watson not able to hang on. Pass slightly off the mark. Roynell Young on the coverage.
Dan Reeves does such a great job of just didn't come out of it clean enough, and the timing was not there, but so many different formations already in the game, Marv, so many motions and movements. It's tough to get a handle on them defensively when they're always moving, and especially when so many players can throw the football for the Broncos.
And you look for some additional gadget play calling as Elway throws over the head of Sampson. Denver with 4 receivers now. Clint Sampson, Mark Jackson, Steve Watson, Steve Sewell. Eagles with 6 defensive backs. Crowd urging the defense on. Elway throwing, intended for Sewell. And the field goal unit will come on. So the Eagles' 7-yard attempt, this time will attempt from 30 yards away. Gary Kubiak will hold. The angle to the right. And Carlos puts it through. So an unusual score posted here in the first quarter at Philadelphia. It is not the Phillies who are playing, but it is 5-0. Denver leading the Philadelphia Eagles, leading the Eagles 5-0. offense. Denver with a 12-play drive leading to the 30-yard field goal by Carlos. Good high kick. And again, it's Catalafasi out to the 15. Holding on to that football as he reaches out near the 24. Ken Woodard on the stop, 20-yard return.
Hey, it's about time we got some offense. So look at the offense for the Eagles. The rookie is Keith Byers, playing in his second game. The offensive line, Gillespie didn't play last week. Didn't play too well the first week against Washington.
He had his problems against Dexter Manley in that opening game against the Redskins. And they go to the ground for Byers off the slant. Keith Byers made his first NFL start last week against Chicago. Only 32 yards on 19 carries. The Eagle running game has been invisible. One of the local columnists referred to it as remedial offense.
Barney Chavis, who is retired, Ryan Mecklenburg, Hunley, good set of linebackers in the defensive backs.
Outstanding secondary for the Denver Broncos. 2nd down and 8. Philadelphia from their 26. And Jaworski puts it downfield for Jackson. Lewis White on the tackle of the home run type wide receiver Kenny Jackson, his 3rd season out of Penn State, a 38-yard pass play.
Watch as Bill Smith had that spot up until this game.
Jackson had a shaky preseason, but he's back in it. Buddy Ryan has been down on Bill Smith. 1st down in Denver territory. Michael Hannix with a short pickup. He's a 4-year man out of Mississippi.
Against the run, they're 26th against the pass. That does not tell you the whole story. They're much better defensively against the pass than that shows, but they played the Raiders and the Steelers, and both of them had to throw to get anything done.
Which tells us sometimes you can just throw those stats out the window. Mike Quick is to the right side. Here's Jaworski. And it's incomplete. The tight end, Dave Little, with a juggling act and out of bounds.
Well, it was a good throw by Jaworski. It was a slow developing play because he had to throw it to Little after he had gone to the sideline and then turned it up. The play action fake to hold the linebackers. Now he's going to lay the ball up and over. As you see, Little went to the sideline. Now he's turned it up. He has the ball. He just doesn't have control of it as he goes out of bounds. Good throw, good call.
3rd down and 7 at the Denver 33. 8.5 left. 1st quarter. Broncos 5 and the Eagles nothing. Jaworski stopped on the blitz by the strong safety Dennis Smith.
Whenever you have a strong safety blitz that early in the game and a sack, Marv, it's obvious that the defense of the Broncos saw something that the Philadelphia Eagles weren't doing that would allow the strong safety to get in there and make that blitz. Good scouting on the part of Joe Collier, the defensive coordinator.
So 4th down play coming up as we scan the scoreboard. And Pittsburgh has come back to tie it. 18-yard touchdown thrown by Malone to Abercrombie. Gerald Wilhite is back waiting the Celtic punt. And a short one. He shanked a couple last week. Bad punt by the rookie from Texas, who certainly got an earful during the course of the week from Buddy Ryan. And he has been on a roller coaster. He averaged 47 yards a punt against the yard punt by John Telchik. Denver will take over at their 29-yard line. Clint Sampson goes to the left side. Steve Watson at the near side. Denver 5 and Philadelphia nothing. 7 minutes gone by. 1st quarter. Here's Winder. Short pickup for Sammy Winder. Outside linebacker Gary Cobb on the stop. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. Second down and 7 at the 32. Winder. Sammy Winder, following the block of Paul Howard, bumped out by the strong safety, Andre Waters.
Take another look. Dan Reeves would love to get his running game going. I think he was encouraged by the first series, the way Winder ran up the middle that early on. And I think if he's going to get some running yardage, you're going to see the Broncos doing a lot of running today.
3rd and 6 for Denver. From their 33. Elway with the time. Chased by Reggie White. Elway back at his 10. And runs it out close to the first down marker, and the crowd upset because the Eagles had numerous shots at John Elway. He picked up 11, and so has the first down.
Well, Elway was the top rushing quarterback in the league the last 2 years, as you saw. Darby 94, White 92. White chased him back and forth that way. This reminds me of when I was young.
I was going to say, not of yourself, Bob.
No, when I was very, very young. And the fans were booing the defense for the Eagles. And I'm sure a lot of those defensive linemen say, hey, listen, we're doing the best we can. Get out here and chase him yourself.
You and Jay Berwanger were up for Heisman honors at the same time. First down at the 44. First. Off the reverse. Nothing. And the Eagles were right on top of that one.
Well, not all of your gimmicks are going to work, and Reeves knows that, but at least showing them during the games, and of course the first 2 games he showed a lot of them, is going to make the Eagle defense more cautious, and of course the teams they play down the road are always going to be looking for something. You see Will Height takes it, laterals it back. Now the next thing you're going to see off of this is a pass. I don't know if Jackson can throw, but of course, being out of Purdue, he probably can.
Of course. Mark Jackson, a 6th-round draft pick from the Boilermakers of Purdue. Off the draw, Winder. To the 48. Wes Hopkins, Andre Waters on the stop. Andre Waters, the strong safety, had a couple of interceptions last week against Chicago, and sounds like he is a ball of laughs. I know the offensive players appreciate that.
2 interceptions in the end zone, and he also had a sack, and that's Buddy's type of player.
3rd down 5.
This would be anybody's type of player. I'd like to have him on my team.
Elway is taken down. Gary Cobb will get credit for the sack. Outside linebacker Gary Cobb getting to the quarterback.
That was the 46 defense. Both outside linebackers were lined up to Elway's left side when you have a short week to prepare, as the Broncos did.
So back in punt formation is 25. Jack Wheel had an up-and-down preseason, but it's come on. First 2 games of the regular season. Phil Smith awaits the punt. And here's Smith at his 20. And no running room at all. He's forced out by Daniel Hunter. A 42-yard punt and a 4-yard return. The game plan's simple. What do you mean by a simple game plan?
Well, here's a normal game plan that a team might have. The plays here on the left, of course, are running plays, and the ones on the right are passing. You may have 50 running plays and over 100 passing combinations. Now, what I mean by that, maybe take 10 of your best running plays and maybe 7 or 8 of your best pass plays and work from that.
Is that an old Miami Dolphin game plan?
One of my old ones I pulled out of the closet.
That looks a little too complex for you, Bob. Here's Jaworski on first down, and it's broken up. So it'll be a second in Seattle now in front of New England. 13-yard touchdown. And Michael Haddix bottled up. Short pickup. Mecklenburg on the tackle. We're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL 86.
Marv, until a moment ago, Rich Camarillo, the Patriots veteran punter, had never had a kick blocked in regular season. But the Seahawks' Kerry Justin got to this one. The Hawks take over at the 13-yard line of the Patriots. On the next play, Kurt Warner scores. But the Pats have just come back, and they are within 7-6 pending the extra point.
Thank you, Bob. On third down, and here's second-year quarterback Randall Cunningham coming on for Ron Jaworski. This is something that Buddy Ryan has done from time to time, and Cunningham is picked off. Mike Harden on the interception. So Mike Harden runs it in as Cunningham, who has come on in third and long situations, is intercepted on his first attempt. Mike Harden, the 8-year man from Michigan.
You saw 49, Smith blitzing at that point. Now they're in a zone right there. Harden sits right there. It was a misread by Cunningham. He thought they were in man-to-man coverage and didn't see Harden to the outside. And Harden just runs it back for a touchdown. Two big scores set up in the first quarter by the Denver defense and kick teams.
Mike Harden with his first interception of the season, and Rich Collis will attempt the extra point. Just under 4 left in this first quarter. It is now a 12-0 Bronco lead off a safety, a field goal, and a 30-yard interception return. And the Eagles are hearing it from the crowd here this first quarter. We'll be back in Philadelphia in a moment. And again, it's Catalatossi with Crawford blocking. Catalatossi stepped out. He was putting a move on the kicker, Thomas, but he had stepped out. And what is this all about?
Catching up on the sports. That's tough. I wouldn't want to be the quarterback that has to leave, and I wouldn't want to be the one that went out there. It's a tough situation especially for a young quarterback.
Eagles first down from the 27. Play action. And Jaworski goes to the middle. Kenny Jackson on the reception for the first down at the 45.
Taking their starting quarterback out on third down and brought in a quarterback from the bench, as the Eagles do in their system.
Reuben Carter is in there at nose tackle. Denver now out of a 3-4 for the first down from 45. Keith Byers trying to stiff arm, not able to make the turn. Ricky Hundley, the inside linebacker, was right on him.
The reason the Eagles go to that Cunningham on third down is because Cunningham right here can run so well. What other teams like to do is contain him and keep him in the pocket and get pressure on the inside. Here, a lot of teams will use a spy or a player right here to mirror wherever he goes. If Cunningham goes this way, he's there to tackle him. But as they were saying earlier in the week, if they have a spy, it better be a fast spy. But his strength is running, and they play him to run first and pass second. It's a very tough situation for a young man in his second year.
Second down 8. There's Byers. Nice second effort for the first down. Keith Byers with his best run as a pro. Stopped by Jim Ryan.
Byers has not played in a year and a half. He missed the entire year last year at Ohio.
On his right foot. He was a risky number 1 draft pick. First down at the Denver 44. And Jaworski throwing deep for Quick. Broken up. Steve Wilson. The extra
Harden just had the interception. Wilson is in there for him, sees the ball very well, and actually Quick does a good job of not allowing Wilson to intercept the ball. This secondary of the Broncos, probably the best in the National Football League. Certainly the best insofar as depth is concerned.
Second and 10. Jaworski is now 2 for 5, 56 yards. as he gets it away, intended for Mike Quick, and he was jarred by Steve Wilson.
Well, Steve Wilson is a defensive back. He is not one of your normal rush people. You normally think defensive linemen or linebackers are going to rush the quarterback, and the Denver defense, confusion, attacking, aggressive defense, a little bit different than they've been the last few years. Now they seem to be blitzing a defensive back on every play as we see the boos go up for Randall Cunningham coming back in the ballgame.
Yes, the crowd reacting negatively as Cunningham comes on for this 3rd down and 10. Tough spot. Second-year man out of Nevada, Las Vegas. This time the handoff and a reverse. Jackson. And hammered from behind. He's short of the 1st down. But Ryan going for the gadget play. The reverse to the speedster, Kenny Jackson, but Tony Lilly was right there for the stop.
I just don't like, Marv, when you take your starting quarterback out of the ball game and bring in a second-year player. It puts pressure and puts more pressure on the defense because Cunningham can run so well. But Jaworski is a fine quarterback. I mean, Jaworski can get the job done. He does not scramble when he sits in the pocket. This is a 3rd and 10 call, and it's tough to pick up 10 yards on 3rd down on reverse.
Also, I would think it's very tough to get in and out of the rhythm of the game coming off the bench of that matter.
And then your confidence is going to be beaten down.
High snap, and Telchik fires one up in the air. What is going on here? It is an incomplete pass.
He took that ball and threw it straight up in the air like a punt. You know what they were thinking.
Tell me.
He threw that ball obviously as a pass. The Denver man that was back may have thought it was a punt.
And he may have gotten away with something. As a penalty marker was thrown, and the Eagles were looking to cause confusion. Football obviously is a game where guys very rarely go against the grain. You see very few new ideas.
Illegal contact. Defense. Number 31.
Straight up. This is
5 yards. First
no
down.
more than a pass. I don't know. He said 31. That was Michael Harden, but 47. Will Height was the man back. Received the punt, but Harden didn't make a play for the ball.
And off the confusion, the Eagles
here we'll see
for the first down. Here it is.
I don't know about that because Will Height, 47, was going for the ball, and as long as you go for the ball, see the ball and are going for it, making a legitimate effort. I've never seen that before.
So they call it illegal contact on Will Height for going for the football.
They didn't call it interference, no, illegal contact.
All right, fires the ball carrier, stopped by Tom Jackson. So the intent of the punter, Telchik, was to throw it as high as possible and create the chaos. And the Broncos obviously not sure how to play it.
We know that we thought was a punt. Obviously, the Eagles were hoping that Will Height thought it was a punt and would let it go because he's near his goal line. Now there you see the contact. If it was pass interference on Will Height, the ball would have been brought down to the 10-yard line. But it was not brought to the 10-yard line, so it must have been illegal contact before the ball got there. But illegal contact to a receiver is the same as pass interference. We're trying to get a clarification on that.
In effect, the Eagles felt that Will Height, who was back deep, would not have realized that it wasn't a punt. All right, that catch by Spagnuolo was just short of the first down. So Jaworski looking for Byers, goes incomplete. Byers covered by Tony Lilly, and now it is a 4th down. It is a 4th and 1 from the 24-yard line. The Eagles going for the first down. And Byers is stopped in his vault attempt. We'll have to see where they spot the football. Reuben Potter, the nose tackle, and Steve Wilson up from the secondary, stacking up Byers, who try to vault the pack. We are just underway, second quarter, and the Broncos with a 12-0 lead on the Eagles off a safety by virtue of the opening kickoff, calling for the yardsticks. A 30-yard field goal by Carlos, and then Randall Cunningham, second-string quarterback, came on for Ron Jaworski on a third down play. As you see, the Eagles are short of the first down, and Cunningham was intercepted by Harden, who ran it in from 30 yards away for the 12-0 lead. So Denver will take over.
The ruling on that play we were just talking about on the play that was a pass by Telchik and not the punt was illegal contact past the 5-yard limit. But it looked to me like it was interference because it was illegal contact. The man was trying to catch the ball. But actually, I don't even think it was interference because Wilhite had his eyes on the ball and was trying to catch the ball also. So that's the ruling. Illegal contact, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Denver first down from the 24. Wilhite peels off. Elway on play action. Wilhite scooped it up. Incomplete. Andre Waters on the coverage. Denver Broncos coming at 2-0. They beat the Raiders 38-36 on opening day. Monday night, 21-10 over the Steelers. Broncos winning a Monday night game on the road for the first time in club history. And Denver's defense holding Pittsburgh to only 30 yards on the ground, gave up only 236 total yards.
Offense, number 60, first down.
And the penalty called on Paul Howard, right guard. Down at 20. Sammy Winder. Stopped by Alonzo Johnson, the rookie from Florida, from his outside linebacker position.
First quarter stats, and these are offensive stats. What we need are defensive stats to show you the play of the Denver defense. Mike Harden with the interception for a touchdown, and of course Harden causing the fumble that resulted in a safety on the opening kickoff.
Once again, the Eagles not able to do anything on the ground. Second down, 15 at the 19. Broncos with 4 wide receivers. And a timeout has been called. Timeout called by Denver at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. This is the home opener for the Eagles, who are having their difficulties here against the Denver Broncos. Minute gone by, second quarter. Broncos lead it 12-0. Second down and 15 from the 19. Away with the time. Oh, a terrific attempt by Evan Cooper over the back of Steve Sewell, but it's incomplete.
You know, in past years, that may have been called interference because he did go for the ball, but he went over the receiver. As long as the defensive back is going for the ball and does not go through the offensive man and does not give him a chance to catch the ball, it's not interference. But it was a good play and good timing by Cooper.
Cooper, in his third year out of Michigan, became a starter this season, was strictly a return specialist and special teams man. Last year, Elway only 1 out of 6 for 4 yards, but it's been a strange game. A safety, a field goal, an interception return. Third down, 15. Elway in trouble. And he is whipping the grass with the player having control. And so it is a sack for Ken Clark. Eagles' second sack of the day.
Buddy Ryan said the thing they have to do to Elway is contain him first and pressure him. Now they had a little twist inside. The defensive lineman crossed, trying to throw the blocking off of the offensive line. And that time that contain and pressure tactic worked on John Elway.
Jack Wheel awaiting this snap. He is deep in his end zone. Evan Cooper is back. Here's Cooper off the hop. And across the 40. Tackled by Ken Woodard. Denver, 37-yard line. Oh, that's not bad. First down for the Eagles. They spotted at the Denver 38-yard line. John Spagnuolo is back in now at tight end. Long count. And Jaworski is hit, and the fumble. And we'll wait for them to unravel. The Broncos think they have it. And Denver has recovered. So Jaworski was walloped, and it's Randy Robbins on the bottom of the pile who made the recovery. Rick Dennison, inside linebacker, with the hit on Jaworski.
We talk about the multiple defenses. Right here, you're going to see Dennison. He's going to come blitzing right here. Now, everybody's worried about Mecklenburg, 77, but watch Dennison. Jaworski should never leave that play on. Two linebackers up inside there. He has to call his line down or scoot his backs up where they can make the protection. Dennison causes the fumble. Robbins makes the recovery.
Another Eagle turnover. They destroyed themselves. 4 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles against the Bears last week. Elway with the handoff. Wilhite with the opening. And tripped up, but has the first down. Good block by the right tackle, Ken Lanier. Andre Waters on the stop. Wilhite ran off 13 yards, and he is shaken up. Well, Wilhite last year was slowed by a knee injury. #1 draft pick out of San Jose State in his 5th season. In the starting lineup today, Gene Lang slowed by a sore leg, and Wilhite trying to walk it off.
Wilhite can do so many things for that Bronco offense. He can throw the ball. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. He is a big special teamer. He can run well with the punt returns. Just gets tripped up right there. It looks like he fell. No, that late hit by Hopkins is probably what caused the injury. Looks like he may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. He may have fallen on the bar. That blow by Hopkins may have slowed him up a little.
First down at the Eagle 39. Sewell comes to the near side. Elway goes to Sewell. And Sewell inside the 20 for another first down to Wes Hopkins on the stop. So Steve Sewell, who at first did not like lining up as a wide receiver because he felt his playing time might decrease, but it hasn't. He was a bit of a disappointment as a running back last year in his rookie season, but certainly has shown value as a receiver.
Well, all of Denver's running backs are kind of, they're not your prototype running back. They can do more than one thing. They're not big and fast. Obviously, Sewell is the fastest on their team and can move around just like the others.
Picked up 22 on the play. Wilhite is back in there now. First down at the 17-yard line. Always first completion after going 0 for 5. Here's Winder to the 16. Waters on the stop. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Marv Albert with Bob Griese from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Denver Broncos lead the Philadelphia Eagles 12-0. 4 minutes gone by, second quarter. It has been a curious game. A safety, a field goal, an interception for a touchdown, a wild pass thrown by the Eagle punter, Telchik. Here's Winder, able to break a tackle, getting inside the 5. Greg Brown running him out, but it'll be a 1st and goal for Denver.
Elway is so much in control. The confidence that he shows on the field is very obvious for me sitting up here. He knows what he wants to get done. He is very sharp and very crisp. Throw that over to what we just saw on the turnover by Jaworski. The line of scrimmage, as we take another look, he faked into the line, came up, looked downfield, saw the man was covered, and then dumped it very quickly to Winder so he could get something done. But Jaworski on the previous turnover should not leave those two linebackers up there, and he should have gotten Chekhov to handle the blocking.
First and goal from the 3. Stool in motion. And here's Winder. Picked up a yard. Up front. Denver with Studdard, Hood, Bryan, Howard, and Lanier. Winford Hood, who was cut in preseason, re-signed this week. Back on the ball club.
Denver has the ball, 2nd and 2 on the 2. Of the 9 touchdowns they've scored this year, only 1 has been running by the offense. They've had 2 defensive touchdowns and 6 through the air, so they're not accustomed to running it over.
Second goal from the 2. Elway off the fake. What a beauty. He had the Studdard lined up as a tight end, and he caught the touchdown. Dave Studdard, the left tackle, who was lined up as a tight end, fooling the Eagles.
Well, that man right there comes up with all the gimmick plays and all the trickery. Now, Studdard had to report to the referee, and the referee went over and tells the Eagles, number 7, he's going to be playing tight end. It's to the right of your screen. Now he blocks, he blocks, he blocks. Now he sneaks out. Elway gives himself 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage because he knows it's going to take a while for Studdard to get out there and get open.
And it is the second touchdown reception of his 8-year NFL career. Here's Carlos. We're pushing and shoving within the line as Carlos is able to connect. So this curious game continues. We now have a tackle playing tight end, catching a touchdown, and Denver leads it 19-0. Opening day.
You can do this from shotgun. You can't do it from a T formation system setup. And of course, a lot of teams have it in. It's just a matter of when you call it and who calls it, and timing is everything.
It's exciting, particularly if it works. And the kickoff by Carlos. Crawford out to the 15. And a penalty flag is thrown. That penalty flag was rifled. 23-yard return, but let's see what the call is all about. Denver won 6 plays, 51 yards, capped off by the Elway to Studdard touchdown.
Holding, number 95 on the return. First down.
So the holding penalty called on backup linebacker Jody Schultz.
Let's go back and take another look at that touchdown that Studdard caught. He's lined up right here. Now watch him. He'll block, he'll block, he'll block, and then he releases. 2nd down and 2, so it's still a run-pass situation. A good fake. Studdard holds up, blocking, and then releases. You got to block a long time, I tell you. Good open. Elway did a good job.
First down from the 13. Here's Catalapasi. Nothing. And the Eagle running game once again going nowhere. Rick Dennison on the stop. That touchdown by John Elway made it 10 consecutive games that he has thrown at least 1 touchdown. That ties the team record of Charlie Johnson.
I saw a shot of Studdard. He's sitting over there by himself. I expect pretty soon he's going to be going down and sitting with the receivers. Saying, I got too much tape on my arm.
2nd and 9 at the 14. Michael Haddix out across the 20, picked up about 6. Carl Mecklenburg on the stop. There's Haddix. He saw extensive action last week. Ran for 34 yards. That was game high, and that's the point we made a moment ago. Charlie Johnson, a contemporary of Bob Griese.
Elway is on a roll. There's no question about it. 124 passes without an interception. Has his team playing well.
3rd down 2 at the 21. 8.5 remaining in this first half. Incomplete. Intended for Tatalatasi. Dennison on the coverage. Good rush by Mecklenburg. And it's 3 plays and punt.
We have not, Eagles. We've not mentioned Mecklenburg much today, but he is really a key to that defense. He moves around, this time playing the left defensive end. Gets in and forces Jaworski to get rid of the ball before he'd like to.
I don't look for the punter, John Telchik, to be throwing any passes high in the air this time. He is back at a 6. And Wilhite back for it. And takes a Denver hop.
They're booing the hop.
Goes down as a 31-yard punt. And it's back to the offense for the Broncos in a very difficult first half for Buddy Ryan.
The turnovers would really have hurt the Eagles. They had an interception run back for a touchdown, a fumble that Jaworski didn't check out of. It's a situation. It was a quarterback mistake. It was a mental mistake that turned into a turnover, which turned into a touchdown for the Broncos. Denver first down at midfield. Elway on a short setup. And throws the bomb for Sewell. A beautiful catch. And Sewell is ruled down at the 10. Andre Waters covering. Sewell followed it all the way and then turned back to come up with a 40-yard pass play. A short punt gave the Broncos the ball midfield. One of the things that the Denver offense has been criticized for, if you can criticize them for anything, is you see a little pump and go, is the killer instinct. This was a little stop and go. Sewell went down 5 yards, stopped, and then he went down again. The thing he does is he sees the ball and comes back and makes the catch.
What were you saying earlier about the Broncos will be a weary team, what with all the cross-country travel back and forth?
For sure. No team in the last couple of years has won on Monday night away and then come back and won on the road again. The Broncos are trying to put the ball game away right here in the first half.
And Winder looking to make the turn. And a flag thrown. And it looks like a late hit will be called on Evan Cooper or Wes Hopkins. Ball was fumbled out of bounds.
Face mask. Winder makes a good move to get around the lineman, and then
Face
right
mask.
there.
Defense, number 48, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it's a first and goal at the 4, 64 yards on 10 carries for Sammy Winder. Check the scoreboard. Jets leading Miami in the second quarter.
Not up there.
And Minnesota over Pittsburgh now 17-7. Tampa Bay in front of Detroit in the second. Here's Winder, straight ahead touchdown. And the Broncos are shredding the Eagles. Bryan and Bishop led the way, and Denver on top 25-0.
Very impressive display in the first half, the Denver offense. They do so many things, it's hard to prepare for their offense, but turn that over also. Buddy Ryan's 46th defense, the Broncos only had like 3 days to prepare for it, and they've done a masterful job. Of course, the Eagles are turning the ball over in pretty good field position and helping the Broncos out.
Winder races in from 4 yards out. Here's Carlos. The extra point. And Denver moving in front of the Eagles now by the score of 26-0. And we're early in the game. We have 7:14 left, second quarter.
We talked about the short week as you see Howard coming over on a trap, make a good block. Howard playing very well as Winder gets in almost untouched. We talked about the short week affecting the Broncos. I think more than that, the Eagles are having a letdown after playing so well last Sunday against the Chicago Bears.
Carlos will kick off to the Philadelphia Eagles. Be sure to join us next week for an NFL doubleheader here on NBC, getting underway with NFL 86 at 12:30 Eastern Time. A look up the lineup. Those are the early games. And in the second part of the doubleheader, some good ones. New England playing the Broncos, San Diego, and the Raiders. And the Jets will play the Colts at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Denver with 12 points in the first quarter. 14 here in the second on a touchdown pass to the tackle Studdard, who was lined up as a tight end, and then off the long pass to Sewell. Winder took it the rest of the way. Catalatasi getting away with the tackle. Has some room. The kicker, Carlos, pushes him out of bounds. 52-yard kickoff return by rookie junior Catalatasi.
Catalatasi made this roster early in the preseason by doing things just like this. Has good vision for a runner. You've got to be able to see where the holes are, and he's got good feet. And then when he gets outside, he's got the speed to get downfield. Carlos with the saving tackle.
Eagles first down at the Bronco 43-yard line. Jaworski with the time and lofts it. John Spagnola could not hold on. Carl Mecklenburg was covering.
So they were in a two-deep zone, and Mecklenburg had the tight end all the way. Mecklenburg is a man that really causes confusion for the offense. He can play linebacker. He moves around. He's played all 7 positions in the front defensive line, all the linebacking positions, and he says the least favorite is nose tackle. And pretty smart.
Yeah, that's got to be the most grueling position to play. Second down and 10. And Jaworski going deep to Quick. Covered by Lewis Wright by Quick, the intended receiver, and Jaworski has not been able to hook up with Quick. A third down play, and Randall Cunningham back on, so Buddy Ryan not varying from the script. What's Buddy going to say this week? And he has had some brutal things to say, although he was kind. He stayed away from it after the opening day walloping by the Redskins over the Eagles. Here's the quarterback draw for Cunningham. And it works. Cunningham picking up the first down.
There's no question that at this point in Cunningham's career is what he does best. And run the quarterback draw, and of course you're going to play him to run first and pass second. I just think it's too much for a young man like that to handle coming in on 3rd and 10 situations. A lot of experienced quarterbacks, the toughest part of their job is going long on 3rd down, and now you're asking a young man to come in and hold off the bench and do it.
First down at the Denver 31. Jaworski went short. The tight end Spagnola refusing to go down. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, number 49, finally got him down. So Dave Little started the game at the tight end. He has been the start of the season, but Spagnola has come on, and now he is in the lineup.
He started for the Eagles last year and no longer around. 5 of them are starting someplace else in the league.
2nd and 5 with the Broncos, 26. Trying to make the turn, could not. The inside linebacker, Ricky Hundley, on the stop. Hundley and Mecklenburg going into today's play lead the Broncos in tackles. Ricky Hundley was a #1 draft pick out of Cincinnati, out of Arizona.
Here are the 9 players that started last year for the Eagles. Griggs and Wilkes and Williams were traded. The others were released. And some of them just couldn't get along with Buddy Ryan.
Third down, 3. And the flag's thrown. Sound like a Jaworski was bearing the cadence.
False start. Offense. Number 66. Third down.
And it's the left guard, Ken Reeves, who is called on the false start.
One of the ways to control the line of scrimmage is the cadence and not do it on a rhythmatic count. Hut 1, hut 2, hut 3, but do it non-rhythmatic. Hut, hut. But if you're going to pull your own offensive lineman off, what good is it, right? I mean, you're supposed to control the line of scrimmage and use it as a weapon, but obviously, I think long counts are good, but quick counts are also good. You got to get up there and just go with the ball.
You have me jumping, Bob. Third down, 8. And here's Cunningham back. And down he goes. And I may have had the ball knocked loose. On the other hand, there might have been a whistle that Ken Woodard getting to the quarterback. So once again, Randall Cunningham coming in for Ron Jaworski on third down. And a flag has been thrown.
Woodard in there putting some pressure and allows Rulon Jones.
Motion. Offense. Number 81. Penalty decline. Fourth down.
Things, and they are doing it. They are controlling this ball game. The Denver defense is turning it over for their offense.
And Jaworski going for the bomb. Let's see, did he catch it? No. Incomplete. Dennis Smith breaking it up. Intended for Kenny Jackson. And Denver will take over on down. 3:37 remaining in this first half. The Broncos lead it by the score of 26-0.
This was almost like a Hail Mary. There's two men, two Broncos right there, as you see. Smith, 49, is right there. It looks as though Jackson had it for a second and then didn't hold on, but that's like a Hail Mary. You've got two defensive backs and one receiver. You just throw it up anyway because it's fourth down and what was it, 16.
The Broncos first down from their 37-yard line. Winder and Wilhite are the running backs. That is Sewell in motion. And Sewell off the swing. Looked to throw, couldn't find anybody. And he's put down at the 30 by Evan Cooper, the right corner.
Well, you called it correctly, Marv. That was a lateral to Sewell. Sewell was looking to throw, but the Eagle defense is in a zone coverage. They had to play well covered.
Jets in Miami in a wild one.
Figured to be a high-scoring game.
And Fowles now takes over at right corner for Cooper. Second down, 17. Broncos back at their 30. Watson to the near side. Sampson far side. Elway looking for Watson. Big rush. And hauled down by Byron Darby, the left defensive end. Third sack of the day for the Eagles.
Kind of yell at him. I know in Miami when I was playing, Larry Little, our offensive guard for so many years, if Don Shula would yell at him, he'd react just the opposite. He'd go into the shell. And others needed to be yelled at. And I don't think that Buddy is just being himself. He is not being anything different than what you see is what you get.
Look at this nice quote concerning Michael Haddock. No one yelled at you, though.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Wilhite, as we resume, could not find the opening. Darby right there. And the punting unit will come on for Denver. Bob, you have our staff so intimidated here that everything is Mr. Griese. Is this okay? Is this microphone all right?
Professional courtesy, that's all, Marv.
Oh, that's nice. Here's a Philadelphia fan with a greeting for Buddy. Buddy's wife says he's much different at home.
So if you get to know Buddy, if you get to know him, he's really a nice guy. And he is, but I don't know about, if you want to work for him, you play for him, you've got to be pretty loose. I think you kind of have to be the same type that Buddy is. If if you get talk tongue-in-cheek a lot and just like to put people on, there'd be no problem playing for Buddy. But if you're the more serious type, and you may have some problems with it. Has a horse farm down in Kentucky. Has 173 acres, 17 horses, and I think he knows the pedigree of his horses a lot better than he knows the names of his players. You know, he does his players by names and nicknames, but you talk about those thoroughbreds, and he can tell you third-generation pedigree.
His horses have turned against him. They've been upset. So here is Jack Wheel, first-year man out of Wyoming. Getting set to punt from his 9. Mike Waters is back deep for the Eagles. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. And an excellent punt. Waters has to back up. Good coverage, but Woodard was picked off. And Waters on the circular route is bumped out of bounds. 47-yard punt and an 11-yard return. Randy Robbins pushed Waters out of bounds. Next Saturday right here on NBC, the baseball season continues. You can join us as the Blue Jays travel to Fenway Park, face the Red Sox or the Atlanta Braves, and the Houston Astros starting at 2 o'clock with the pregame show. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Baseball here on NBC next Saturday. Philadelphia first down from their 41-yard line. Latasi and Haddix are the running backs. They work out of the shotgun. And Jaworski incomplete, threw behind Johnson. Second down play coming up as we approach the 2-minute mark, and not a pretty statistical line for Ron Jaworski. He is 4 for 14, 69 yards.
Known as a pocket passer. Everybody knows where he's going to be. He does not scramble around, and the knock is that you can sack him and he won't get rid of the football.
He has a 2nd and 10 now at the 41. Nice catch by Quick, holding it in with one hand. Mike Harden on the coverage. First down for the Eagles. Mike Quick, who comes off a sensational year, made the Pro Bowl for the 3rd straight season. And there's the 2-minute warning. We get the automatic timeout with the Denver Broncos well in front. They lead the Philadelphia Eagles 26-0.
The Mercedes-Benz driving.
He's right, doing a little pacing. I think he's a little nervous about this 2-minute drill, but one of the finest coaches, defensive coaches in the league right there.
2 minutes to go. First half. Broncos lead the Eagles 26-0. And a first down at the Denver 47. The swing for Haddix. And he is hit back behind the line. Mike Harden was right there. Michael Haddix making his first start of the season and has not been able to get going. A controversial move was made during the course of the week. The Eagles releasing 1,000-yard man Ernest Jackson, who was not a favorite of Buddy Ryan. Pass intended for Mike Quick. Foley and Harden on the coverage. And this Eagles running game has really suffered. Quick scan of the scoreboard. Jets and Miami in a high-scoring affair. Dallas now leads Atlanta in the second. 21-13. Buffalo with that 10-0 lead on the Cardinals, who have had big problems.
Buddy Ryan talking about Jackson. Ernest Jackson said, you know, he can't catch, he can't run, he can't block. I don't know why we should keep him. Otherwise, he's a nice guy.
3rd and 10. Minute and a half to go, first half. Off the solid hit, and it's ruled an incomplete. Quick did not have possession. Mike Harden jarring Mike Quick.
Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, who was one of 5 coaches that came from the Bears to the Eagles with Buddy Ryan, says, we just need to get the ball to Quick as much as we can. He's going to make some big plays. They got it to him 73 times. Couldn't see from that angle if the ball was in or not. They got it to him 73 times last year with 11 touchdowns, so he is their big play man.
And with the 4th down and 10, punter John Telchik drops back to the Eagle 38, Gerald Wilhite. Back at his 10. To not down it, so it'll come out to the 20. It's a 47-yard punt with the roll. 1:16 left in this first half.
The Achievers, those who faced adversity and refused to fail, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Defensive end Greg Brown was supporting.
Give me a trial, I would take care of the rest.
Back in Philadelphia, Broncos take over. First down from their 20-yard line. Winder out to the 24. It'll be a 2nd down and 6. Clock is running. We approach a minute left in this first half. Broncos leading the Eagles by the score of 26-0.
Kubiak, number 8, giving the signals that he just got the play from Reeves. He'll signal the play into Elway, and then, of course, Elway, if he sees something at the line of scrimmage that requires being checked off, he has the authority to do that. But, Elway has come a long way. Trying to play the Bears, and Buddy Ryan 3 years ago in Chicago was totally confused.
Winder. Short gain for Sammy Winder. The middle linebacker, Mike Reichenbach, on the stop, and Broncos just playing the clock down. 20 seconds remaining.
One of the telling statistics of the first half, Marv, the Denver Broncos have averaged 9.1 yards on first down. The Eagles only 1.4, and that has been their problem the first 2 ball games, is not getting anything done on first down.
And you can hear the reaction from the crowd here in Philadelphia, directed toward the Philadelphia Eagles, who are trailing at halftime 26.
And the Broncos recover once again. Tackle eligible play here down near the goal line. From the 2, Dave Studdard, number 70, is eligible. John Elway finds him for Elway, his 6th touchdown pass of the season. Sammy Winder adds a touchdown a bit later. 26-0 in favor of Denver. And Ahmad, I must tip my cap to you, because that pregame feature on the Orange Crush defense couldn't have been more timely.
Bobby, they are really rolling out there. I had a chance to talk to Tom Jackson, a linebacker who's been around for 14 years. He said it's such a pleasure to finally be on a team that the defense doesn't have to carry. And when the offense scored 38 points against the Raiders a couple weeks ago, it really gave a boost to that Denver defense. And as far as confidence goes, Carl Mecklenburg says that they have the best defense in all of football. Now, a stat here. Joe Collier's defense has allowed the fewest touchdowns in the NFL over the last 10 years. Pretty strong.
Is the Bronco defense better than the Bear defense?
Well, that's hard to say. It's hard to say right now, but I would say that as an overall team, I think that the Broncos may be a little bit stronger.
Well, maybe they'll settle it in the Super Bowl.
26-0 lead, and on the stat sheet, they have it all over the Eagles.
I think the interesting statistic, beside the turnovers in favor of the Denver Broncos, are the Broncos rushing as opposed to their passing. Normally, big passing team, not much run production. Today, a lot of running, and I anticipate that Dan Reeves is going to try and continue that same philosophy. Winder has 76 yards on 13 carries. Will Height with 25 yards on 5 carries. And Elway only 5 of 10, only 10 attempts. And all 5 of those going to running backs. Now, a couple of those have gone to Sewell, which is he's also a wide receiver, but
they have it all over the Eagles.
I think the interesting statistic, beside the turnovers in favor of the Denver Broncos, are the Broncos rushing as opposed to their passing. Normally, big passing team, not much run production. Today, a lot of running, and I anticipate that Dan Reeves is going to try and continue that same philosophy. Winder has 76 yards on 13 carries. Will Height with 25 yards on 5 carries. And Elway only 5 of 10, only 10 attempts. and all 5 of those going to running backs. Now, a couple of those have gone to Sewell, which is he's also a wide receiver, but I'm sure that the Broncos are happy to have some kind of running game after not having it for so long.
The kickoff by Paul McFadden. Ken Bell on the return. Bell, a rookie from Boston College, a free agent addition to the Denver roster, returned at 18 yards, and the Broncos to the offense. John Elway last year led the NFL in total offense statistically, not having a grand afternoon, but it has not mattered with the way this game has gone.
I think if they needed Elway to throw and get some yardage, he could. They've just been getting it on the ground and had good field position because of the turnover.
First down at the 22. Denver goes double tight end with Hackett and Kay. And it is Wilhite with the big hole. And Wilhite run out by Ronell Young. So Dan Reeves is certainly getting the work on the ground. Wilhite going 42 yards.
Good blocking up front. Here is Darby and Young. They'll split, and the play will come right between them. As you'll take a good look from the defense side, Darby 94 is being blocked by Hackett 85. Gets just enough of him to spring Wilhite, and the running game of the Denver Broncos is high gear.
Watson goes out to the left. First down at the Eagle 36. We're just underway, third quarter. Wilhite tripped up by Byron Darby. Darby, Clark, White, Brown up front for the Eagles. Cobb, Reichenbach, Johnson, the linebackers. And the deep men are Young, Waters, Hopkins, and Fowles, who replaced Cooper, who was shaken up in the second quarter. Pickup of 3, second and 7 at the Philadelphia 33. Broncos looking to make it a record of 3-0. Eagles come in at 0-2. And Denver with that commanding 26-0 lead. Now Sewell and Winder in the backfield. Elway goes sideline. Nice catch by Sampson. Roynell Young, the cornerback, on the coverage, a short pickup. It'll be third down and 1 for Denver.
Marv, one of the things I like about Denver and Dan Reeves, and offensively and defensively, he keeps so many people in the game. Defensively, he's got the defensive backs in different situations. The linebackers move around. Offensively, all their backs play. Lang is at an injury, not playing much today. Wilhite, Winder, Sewell, all the wide receivers, the tight ends are involved. It keeps them all in the game.
And right now on the near side, they have that touchdown threat. Dave Sutter, the left tackle, lined up again as a tight end. He caught a touchdown in the first half. But the pass to Sewell. And Sewell has the first down, chased out by Fowles. On the subject of Studdard, back in '79, he caught a touchdown and a victory over Seattle. This time Elway rolling left and going the other side.
Nice throw by Elway. Not easy to roll to your left and throw that way for a right-hander, but it's almost like the shell game. Moving people around. You don't ever know who's got the ball. Wilhite can do so many things. Sewell can do so many things. And the mastermind, Dan Reeves, is not afraid to put him in there and let him do these things.
3 catches for Sewell for 72 yards. First down at the 17. Now back to the ground. And this time Wilhite is stuffed. Reichenbach and Johnson, the linebackers, coming up to make the stop. Minute and a half gone by in this third quarter. It'll be a second and 10 at the Eagle 17.
This offense is operating without Vance Johnson, their top receiver with the speed that's out with a leg injury, and they hope to have him back within 6 to 8 weeks.
Johnson with 57 catches last year. And it's Sammy Winder for another Denver score. Sammy Winder giving the Broncos a 32-0 lead.
Well, you got to start wondering about the Philadelphia defense, because it was supposed to be a very run-oriented style of defense. Now you can't run against it. Last week, Walter Payton, 177 yards against this defense. And now the Broncos, who are not a rushing team, come in here 26th in the league in running and have already run up and down the field on them. So you got to wonder about that run defense of the Eagles.
And here is Rich Carlos. Extra point. And it is good. So the Broncos continue the clobbering of the Eagles. Winder scoring his second touchdown of the day. It is now 33-0.
Welcome to the Silver Bullet, home of a cold Coors Light.
Jimbo, yo, where's Nadine tonight?
They're probably sitting by the phone waiting for yours truly. Give me a Coors Light, will you, sweet thing?
You guys have a little love spat?
Nah, man's got to have some space. Gotta show these women who's boss. Gotta zig when they zag. Hey, I know it's brutal, but a man's got to do. But Nadine.
Yo. Oh, she looks miserable.
Yeah.
No slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Today's game is brought to you by Mercury, the shape you want to be in. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Owens Corning Building Products. We put your house in the pink.
Buddy Ryan staring across the field, watching his Philadelphia Eagles on this kickoff return. His club trailing 33-0. Charles Crawford out to the 25-yard line. 15-yard return. Rick Dennison on the tackle. So Philadelphia first down from their 25.
It's a rushing defense. Eagles coming into this game were last in the league. And I think after this game, they're going to still be last in the league.
Unless there is an astronomical blowout somewhere else, they will hold on to that pitch. On the handoff to Keith Myers, who has not been able to get going. Andre Townsend, the right defensive end. On the stop, Myers, the #1 draft pick out of Ohio State. So his average coming in only 1.6, and has not added to that average this afternoon. Second and 10. Kenny Jackson split to the left. That's the near side. Jaworski throws the middle. Tight end Dave Little. Right at the first down marker, Ricky Hundley. Inside linebacker on the stop. Right here, we'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Marv Albert with Bob Griese from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Eagles did pick up the first down. And they're operating from their 35-yard line. 3.5 gone by, third quarter. Again over the middle. Nice catch. For a 29-yard pass play, Lewis Wright on the stop.
Haddock's a good receiver out of the backfield, much better receiver than he is a ball carrier. Of course, as you mentioned earlier, #1 draft choice a couple of years ago. But this is the time of the game, Marv, when the game is so far out of hand that everybody relaxes. The offense loosens up, and unfortunately, the defense has a tendency to let down a little bit. So you may go to see some plays like that, which was a play that doesn't normally go that far. Usually he's going to get hit by one of the defensive backs.
And a first down at the Denver 36-yard line. Mike Quick on the reception. Another Philadelphia first down. Lewis Wright making the stop on Quick. Getting back to the scoreboard, Buffalo in front of St. Louis. New England now by 3 over Seattle, and the Rams leading Indianapolis. Minnesota in front of Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay looking for its first victory of the season. First out of the Denver 26. 5 minutes in, third quarter. Jaworski fumbling the snap and able to cover up.
You saw in your picture the defense for the Broncos moving around, 7 and 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Jaworski checking off, as you see right there. That was a play earlier that Dennison, 55, caused the fumble. That time, when you're up at the line of scrimmage and you're a quarterback and you see those people, you're anxious to get out of there. You're checking off. This is part of the confusion that Joe Collier has brought to the Bronco defense this year.
Eagles center is Jerry Feary, who was a pleasant surprise his first year as a starter, backed up by Matt Darwin, who is the projected future starter at center. Second down, 13. And Jaworski nearly picked off. Randy Robbins could not hold on. The pass intended for the tight end, Dave Little. There's Little, third year out of Middle Tennessee.
Robbins with a good play. Doesn't get an opportunity to play that much with the fine play of Dennis Smith, who is playing today with a slightly broken collarbone or a bone in his shoulder. But Denver Broncos with very good many, a lot of players, good players in the defensive secondary.
Third down specialist Randall Cunningham has come on for Jaworski, and he throws one. Nice peg, touchdown for Kenny Jackson. Well, after much adversity, it finally worked.
See it again. Plenty of time. Cunningham stands in there. You know, how many times you go throw a touchdown? One every 7 or 8 times. The other times, I just don't agree with putting Cunningham in there very cold. I think Jaworski could have thrown that pass as easily as Cunningham could have.
His second touchdown throw in his 2-year NFL career. And the point after by Paul McFadden is good. So the Eagles finally dent the scoreboard and trail 33-7 with 6 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
Crow Wing, Minnesota, and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Crow Wing means Northern Pike.
No matter what unexpected problems should arise, Transamerica Property, Casualty, and Life Insurance can be there to protect you.
Hey, you big ape! Who's gonna pay for this mess?
Transamerica. For insurance and financial services, the power of the pyramid is working for you.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Seahawks battle the Redskins.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL 86.
Second-year quarterback Randall Cunningham just fired the touchdown pass. And he's got to be a confused young man. Aside from the pressure of coming in on third down, I know they try to change his delivery. They felt he wasn't throwing fast enough. They want him to go more three-quarter.
Well, I think jerking him in and out has got to do a lot not to give him any confidence. I remember when Marino first came into Miami, Shula put him in situations where he could build up his confidence. This going in on third and long can't do anything but hurt his confidence.
Here's the return by Ken Bell. Good return, stiff arming his way out to the 42-yard line. 33-yard kickoff return. Wes Hopkins pushed him out. And here's Gary Kubiak coming on very early for John Elway. So Gary Kubiak in his 4th year out of Texas A&M, providing a rest for John Elway with this 33-7 Denver lead early in the 3rd quarter. Gary Kubiak making his first appearance this regular season. Last year threw only 5 passes, 2 of 5 for 61 yards in 3 appearances, but he's had some big games in the past coming on for Elway. Wilhite following Winder and able to make the turn. Good acceleration by Gerald Wilhite. Hit down by Elbert Fowles. And it'll be just shy of the first down. So the stat line on Elway, 7 of 12, 96 yards, 1 touchdown, and a methodical day for John Elway as Denver very successful in converting a couple of turnovers and also with an excellent running game.
He really had a day off. I mean, he engineered the drives. He was there if they needed him, but they really didn't need him to shine today. They did it with the running game and the turnovers.
2nd and 1 at midfield. Winder has the first down. They push him back. Reggie White, who has been very quiet here today. Last year, the NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, Reggie White, on the stop. A wild game at the Meadowlands with the Jets now leading Miami 31-28. And how about Atlanta over Dallas now 27-21. I see Marino has thrown a 4th touchdown pass to bring Miami within 3. Buffalo maintaining its lead. Same for Minnesota. Tampa Bay, first down at the Philadelphia 47. And it's Watson, 81, in motion. Wilhite stumbled and was able to recover.
Broncos working on their running game today, Marv. The wide receivers, I don't believe, have caught a pass all afternoon other than Sewell, who is also a running back wide receiver. But not only does Elway get the day off, but maybe Steve Watson, who is probably the most underrated wide receiver in the game today. Caught passes in 49 straight games. That's one record that may be in jeopardy here today. I'm sure that they'll try and get him the ball at least once.
2nd down and 4. And Winder stopped behind the line by Wes Hopkins. This is a homecoming for Steve Watson out of Temple University. Went to high school in Delaware. Watson has not caught a pass today. We're checking the stat sheet. The only wide receiver catching a pass in a short pop was Clint Sampson. That's been it. Depends what your definition of Sewell's position is. He's been lining up in the backfield and then peeling off, but he has caught 3. 3rd down and 5. Wilhite has now run for 85 yards, 10 carries. 6 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Dump pass. That looked like Kubiak was looking for something else. All right, we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas, NFL 86.
Thanks, Marv. In Foxborough, the Seahawks get back in it against the Patriots. Dave Craig up top to the former Colt Ray Butler. 54 yards for a touchdown, and they are within 3, 17-14 in the 3rd. Marv?
Thank you, Bob. Back here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, as you see Denver well in front of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the punting unit comes on for the Broncos. Mike Waters drops back in single safety. Jack Wheel with Waters. And Wheel is back at his 43. Jack Wheel at previous tryouts with Atlanta and Houston. He replaced Chris Norman. Directional attempt. And will do the job. Picked out by Waters. What was he doing?
Trying to pick it up. Wheel got away with a shank. He was trying to kick that ball to the left coffin corner and actually shanked it down the middle of the field or the right side of the field. And Waters just kicks it out of bounds.
Goes as a 36-yard punt, and the Eagles will be pinned in. at their 7. And check that out. Combination of Wilhite and Winder. Wilhite 85 yards, Winder 94. Broncos over the Eagles 33-7. 5:45 remaining. Third quarter. Play action. And the short dump. Little out across the 15. Mike Harden on the stop. We've received word that Carl Mecklenburg suffered a slight concussion, and they'll keep him out the rest of the way. There's Carl Mecklenburg. Did not become a starter until the 10th game last year, but he has come on so fast.
Call him the gopher defense. He went to Minnesota, and there's not many players in the National Football League that have had defenses named after him. Get back to that in a minute here.
2nd and 1. And Haddix with the first down across the 20.
The Broncos call that their gopher defense after Mecklenburg as he moves around. The 46 that Buddy Ryan brought in actually started because of Doug Plank at Chicago, who wore number 46, and he moved him up as a linebacker. And then, of course, the 53 defense in Miami was named after the number of Bob Matheson. So Mecklenburg makes it special when he's in there.
Eagles from their 21 to the first down.
384! 384!
Kenny Jackson running around a bit, and that could be an unsportsmanlike. The ruling was that he was down and the play was blown dead, and he did not like the call. He thought he was still alive, and he pegged it at the official, but apparently he'll get away with it. A 30-yard pass play.
Kenny Jackson out here. He's just going to come down and run a post. Jaworski's going to get the ball to him. The 2-deep zone, and he gets down the middle of the field. And he is down.
3 catches, 77 yards for Jackson, and a first down at midfield. And no receiver in sight. He looked right, saw that the man was covered, then went the other side. We've received word that Philadelphia wide receiver Phil Smith broke his hand. Phil Smith was originally a starter, replaced today by Kenny Jackson, so Smith suffering a broken hand. It'll be a 2nd and 10 at midfield. Jaworski 11 for 25, 168 yards. But not much has been accomplished by the Eagles offensively. 3.5 left, third quarter. Pass intended for Byers, covered by Woodard. Nothing happens here. Do you go for Cunningham next series? What do you think?
I think you go ahead and go with the younger players. Kavanaugh is the second-team quarterback, but I think Cunningham, the more he gets the experience, the quicker he's going to be your quarterback in the future, and they've said that he is.
And he's coming in here now for the third down play. And his last appearance, he threw the touchdown to Jackson on a 29-yard pass play. This is a 3rd and 10. And Cunningham able to complete, but the hit by Harden stopping Haddix, and the Eagles short of the first down by a good 7-8 yards.
Harden playing a super game, an interception earlier for a touchdown as we take a look. But Harden with good vision into the backfield, always sees where the ball's coming from. Harden may be hard-pressed to keep his job once Mark Haynes comes back from the injured reserve list. Haynes was picked up from the New York Giants in a trade earlier in the season, and just going to add to the depth of that Bronco defensive secondary.
Haynes out with a torn muscle in his thigh on the injured reserve list. for 2 more games, including today. Telchik's punt popped high in the air and downed at the 6 by Terry Hogue. 30-yard punt. Fans here wanted Buddy Ryan to go for the first down, and may have heard the reaction. Make that a 40-yard punt by Telchik, and we'll take a break. Back after these words. That's now tied at 31. Marino's thrown 4. O'Brien has thrown 2. Atlanta in front of Dallas in the 3rd quarter. Buffalo now leading St. Louis 17-3. New England by 3 over Seattle. LA Rams maintaining their lead on Indianapolis. Minnesota extending over Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay looking for victory number 1 with a 24-6 edge. 2.5 to go. 3rd quarter, and Denver front at 6. Gary Kubiak in at quarterback, replacing John Elway, who had a very easy day at the office. Sammy Winder out to the 8-yard line. Rich Kranick on the stop, and the Eagles now throwing some of their backup people in there. Wayne Giles and Jody Schultz. Rich Kranick, the linebackers.
I guess Ryan says if you can't play defense any better than that, I'll put some of the backups in, see if they can do any better. Sammy Winder having a big day for the Broncos.
2nd and 7. The ball is spotted just inside the 9.
Take a look at Reggie White, number 92, in the middle of that line for the Eagles. 6'5", 285, Baptist minister. He's got some words to say to him in that huddle.
And they called him the Minister of Defense at Tennessee. Here's Kubiak with his first pass. Mark Jackson has the first down. Fowles and Schultz on the stop.
Mark Jackson, the big surprise for the Broncos this year is they didn't have a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round draft choice because of the trades for Hundley. They lost a 1st and gave a 1st and a 3rd to Cincinnati, and then the trade for Mark Haynes a 2nd. But Jackson, a 6th round draft choice from Purdue, as we mentioned, is really a big surprise, and they're very pleased with his receiving and his speed.
First down at the 18. Taken down from behind by Greg Brown. Greg Brown with 13 sacks last year. Very fast player. 6th season out of Kansas State. And he has collected the Eagles' 4th sack of the day.
Well, this has got to be a sack on Kubiak. He had plenty of time to throw. You can't wait that long. He had to move up in the pocket. There was plenty of room to move up in the pocket. One of the things that Dan Marino does so well is see where to move in the pocket. Elway feels his way around. You got to scoot around here, a little move up, move back, and feel the pocket without actually looking where your offensive linemen are.
Loss of 8, 2nd and 18 from the 10. A minute left, 3rd quarter. Kubiak from his end zone on the screen for Wilhite. Flag thrown. Wilhite brought down across the 15 by Brenard Wilson. And it's called on Denver. Referee Dick Hantak. Gerald Wilhite may be the man. Let's see. And Wes Hopkins is shaken up. Eagles checking him out.
He hurt a knee last week against the Bears. It was a bruised knee. He didn't practice all week. Played in the ball game, and if they lose Wes Hopkins.
Ineligible downfield offense. Number 60. Penalty declined. 3rd down.
They'll lose a valuable player in that defensive secondary. Let's take a look at that last play. Here's Wilhite right here, and the penalty is going to be on number 60 as he's going to be downfield as Wilhite slips through here and receives the ball. Howard gets downfield too far, as you see Howard blocking on his man, and then lets him go. It's a screen downfield. Good call. Saw the official on the left there see it all the way. Paul Howard in there filling for the injured Cooper.
Mark Cooper with that slightly separated shoulder suffered Monday night against Pittsburgh. Wilhite was also shaken up off the collision with Hopkins. Next week, Here on NBC, we'll have doubleheader football starting with NFL 86 at 12:30 and a good lineup. Seattle playing at Washington, Kansas City at Buffalo, Pittsburgh will be at Houston. These are the early games, followed by New England at Denver. How about the Chargers and the Raiders?
The Raiders are in tough straits right now, 0-2, and they're playing the Giants today, and they need a win badly.
There's Wes Hopkins. You mentioned the bruised knee. Did not practice all week. A walk-on at SMU now in his 4th season with the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off a splendid year. Made the Pro Bowl last year for the first time. 3rd and 12 from the 16. Penalty flags tossed. Wilhite on the swing. Wilhite first down and more, but we'll check out the penalties. Terry Hogue bumped him out. 23-yard pickup. This 3rd quarter winding down, 38 seconds to go. Broncos leading it 33-7.
Defense, number 98, offside, penalty decline, first down.
So Greg Brown, the right defensive end, is called on the offside. And Denver with a first down from their 40.
You got to give a lot of credit to Reeves for adapting his offense to the style of players that he has. He doesn't ask Wilhite to do the pounding and the heavy running in there. He uses him on the swing passes, lets him do the returns on the special teams, uses him in the light work. He does that with all of his players.
Hopkins out for the rest of the day. Again, a knee problem. Winder picked up a couple. Winder and Wilhite headed for the 100-yard mark, and it will mark the first time since back in November of 1974 that 2 Bronco players went over the 100-yard rushing mark in a single game. In Oakland in 1974, Otis Armstrong, 146 yards. John Keyworth is 148. That's the last time. And with that carry by Winder, he is exactly at 100 yards for the day off 18 carries. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, Denver 33, Philadelphia 7. Back after these words from your local station.
It was a magic night. There was dining, dancing, and an anniversary surprise that Herbert would never forget.
Tomorrow. Heads up, beer drinkers. It's Coors Extra Gold.
This ain't no straight lace, anyways, featherweight beer. You'll agree. This is Coors Extra Gold. It's the beer with the taste.
Misdirection play. The 2 linemen on the right side pull, and Kubiak fakes the ball. Now this is from not playing. If he were in there and playing a lot, he would not throw this ball. But the rust, the lack of playing time, he goes ahead, tries to get rid of the football, and Schultz makes the interception.
Pass was intended for Mark Jackson. Denver's first turnover of the day. Eagles take over at the Bronco 40. And John Spagnola battling his way to the first down marker at the 30. Tony Lilly on the stop. Bob, you're trailing 33-7. Minute and a half gone by 4th quarter. Do you stay with the veteran Jaworski in a game that is going nowhere, or do you come in with the young guy Cunningham and give him some experience?
Well, I think you give him the experience, but obviously Ryan is not pleased with his offense and Jaworski and the way they've performed today, so maybe he feels...
Myers are the running backs. 2nd and 1. And Jaworski throwing end zone. And the Philadelphia fans wanted an interference on Steve Wilson, but they will not get it.
Wilson with good coverage, Marv. Quick did a little acting job, and of course the fans saw the 2 players there, but Wilson knows that if he looks back for the ball and makes an attempt for it, if you take a look back at it, Wilson didn't see a lot of it, but just enough. I don't think he
fired. Ricky Hundley on the stop as Byers picks up the first down.
Byers had that foot injury, and in the offseason came in early with the Eagles, and they had a special tub made for him. It was a huge tub that's called an aqua arc. They could actually suspend him. They'd strap him in, and they'd suspend him, and he could simulate his running motion. He wasn't too sure about getting into it. He says, I can't swim. He said, we're sure that the strap's not going to break.
It is a first down at the 27. We've had a nice, enjoyable preseason. Quick on the reception. And it's a Philadelphia first down. Steve Wilson making the stop. Do I sense another Griese record being shoved rudely out of the books? Marino has thrown for 5 against the Jets. The Miami Dolphin team record, most touchdowns in one game. Bob Griese throwing 6.
You know, I wish he'd break some of those other ones. Most fumbles, most interceptions. You know,
what a modest guy he is.
This goes for the good ones.
I guess they'll be switching live from the Jet Miami game to get your reaction here, Bob.
Yeah.
First down of the 15, and Jaworski able to peg it, completes to Spagnola. Harden on the stop, and they had some words. The fans like John Spagnola. In fact, when he came out for the first time replacing the starter Dave Little, he received a hand and then caught a pass quickly, and he has been in there most of the day.
He lost his job in preseason because he was a holdout. David Little was here, and one of the players that did not get his job back. It's a frustrating situation for Spagnola and Jaworski, the entire offense, because even if you score, everybody will say, well, you were so far behind anyway. What does it mean?
Second and 8, only a 2-yard pickup on that pass play. Jaworski off the roll, throwing end zone, incomplete. Mike Quick, the intended receiver, covered by Tony Lilly. And a 3rd down 8 coming up. Well, Marino holding at 5 has not thrown another. They're in the 3rd quarter at Giant Stadium. Dallas maintaining that 1-point lead over Atlanta.
Atlanta being a surprise this year. Jim Kelly, it's amazing what a good offense will do for the defense. The defense now playing very well for the Bills.
Although Kelly has not thrown a touchdown, but what a lift he has provided that club. Minnesota leads Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay over Detroit. 4 minutes gone by in this 4th quarter. A 3rd down 8 for the Eagles. Looking for Quick. He had his back turned, and he threw into double coverage. Robbins got a piece of it. Quick really had not concluded his pattern.
Well, there was good coverage on it. It was man coverage underneath, and he had help deep so he could overplay it. And, of course, the Broncos know that the Eagles like to get Quick the ball as much as they possibly can, and they're staying with him most of the time.
A 4th down and 8, and Cunningham has come on, replacing Jaworski.
4th and 8, you're on about the 13, 14-yard line. The threat of the run is the reason he's in there, obviously, but I'd rather go with my main guy.
And Cunningham could not find anybody, and Rulon Jones all over.
I just don't agree with that, Marv. You're taking out your best player. If Cunningham was so good, you should be playing to start with. I mean, 3rd down is when you want to convert into 1st down. 3rd downs into 1st downs, and he's supposed to be a scrambler. He's not running here at all. Jaworski could sit back in the pocket and be sacked like that. It's unfair to Cunningham, and I think it's unfair to the team.
And the Broncos come up with their 4th sack of the day. Denver takes over on downs. And the fans beginning to depart. Short of a sellout by about 5,000 here in Philadelphia. Crowd, nothing official has been announced, but in the area of 66,000. And Denver ruined the Eagles' day right at the start. Off a safety, the fumbled kickoff by Tototosi. Fans making their way out. And a 30-yard field goal by Carlos made it 5-0. Cunningham intercepted by Harden, who ran it home from 30 yards away for a 12-0 lead. A Jaworski fumble led to another Denver drive. Elway connecting with Dave Stoddard, the left tackle, who was lined up as a tight end. That extended it to 19-0. Elway to Sewell on a 40-yard pass. Big play of a drive that concluded with Winder taking it home from 4 yards out. A 42-yard run by Wilhite, the key play in another drive, and Winder ran it in from 17 yards away for a 33-0 Denver lead. And the only Eagles score, Cunningham, who has been repeatedly coming in on third down, did connect. 29-yard pass play to Kenny Jackson. And there is Randall Cunningham, second-year player out of Nevada, Las Vegas. As you can see,
Philadelphia, the 3.6 years average years of experience. Denver 21 in the National Football League. Houston is the youngest, the Rams the oldest, and it does make a difference. You have to have that mixture of youth plus the experience.
Another telling point there, it's not a long career of the National Football League. First out at the 28. Winder out to the 29, picked up a yard on the play. Jody Schultz on the stop. Matt Cavanaugh is warming up now for the Eagles. Came on last week and was intercepted a couple of times by the Chicago Bears.
Threw 3 passes, 2 interceptions, and wasn't a good day for Cavanaugh, as this is not a good day for Jaworski. Broncos are tough defensively. Second and 9.
Gary Kubiak in at quarterback. Winder picked up 3 on the play. Next Sunday, the Broncos will be home for the New England Patriots and then home for Dallas. In 3 weeks, October 12th, Broncos play at San Diego, so it will not be a fun and frolic time for Denver.
Broncos have had 2 outstanding years back-to-back, 13-3 in '84 and then 11-5 last year, and really have nothing to show for it. They missed the playoffs last year, the first team to win 11 games and miss the playoffs. They're off to a good start this year to make sure that they don't miss them this year.
3rd and 6. Kubiak able to complete to Sewell at the first down marker. Steve Sewell in his second season out of Oklahoma, taken out of bounds by Terry Hogue. And Sewell was short of the first down, so the punting unit coming on. Jack Wheel, man who led the nation in punting as a senior at Wyoming 2 years ago. Mike Waters dropping back to his 20-yard line. Mike Waters, the guy last week, as he awaits this punt from Wheel, who called the Chicago Bears pansies and babies, which was not appreciated by Chicago players. He started the game, played the first series, and was taken out. Buddy Ryan said he took him out actually to protect him.
You got to back that stuff up. He didn't do anything in the first 3 plays. He says, you'll talk that way, you got to go out and play.
Beautiful punt by Wheel. And good coverage by the Broncos. Darren Como leading the charge, a 46-yard punt. Good hang time. And the short return, a 5-yard return. And here comes Matt Cavanaugh. Penalty being called, a hold on the Eagles. It just gets worse and worse. Mixed reaction for Cavanaugh.
Well, where do you go from here? You've lost your first 2 games. You played well in Chicago last week against the Bears. Let's get the call.
Holding
Number 20 on the return. First down.
Andre Waters with the hold, but it's a tough situation for the Eagles to be in.
And they will start out from their 11. We'll be back in a moment.
The quarterback here, good people.
All nice young men.
All nice young men, yes.
Very nice.
I just wish they'd throw
nice
them
young
on my
man.
record.
Great. All right, Tony Colorado, rookie nose tackle, making the stop, and a first down for Philadelphia.
Different occupation for Jaworski. He doesn't look very happy sending in the signals instead of receiving them.
Eagles first down at their 23. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Kavanaugh going to his left for the first down with Jackson. Well, Kenny Jackson's had a good game. He caught the Eagles' only touchdown. That's his fourth reception of the day. And Daniel Hunter, the backup cornerback, made the stop.
Straight down and hooking. The secondary for the Bills, for the Broncos, just playing loose is Kenny Jackson. Back in the starting lineup.
And picked up the first down at the Philadelphia 36. Jackson to the near side and now quick far side. Kavanaugh had the ball batted away. And the Eagles recover, was slapped out of the hand of Kavanaugh. Ken Woodard getting a piece of it. And Joe Conwell has come on here in the second half, able to cover up Conwell, the left tackle, who suffered a fractured big toe, and as a result was not in the starting lineup. Tom Gillespie starting today.
Get a nice look at Joe Collier. He has to be pleased as Woodard comes by and knocks the ball out. Woodard with some big plays, not only in this game, but in the Raider game a couple of weeks ago. Got a turnover for a touchdown that helped turn that ball game around.
And Randall Cunningham is here for a 2nd and 33. Cunningham running out of the pocket, out to the 20-yard line.
If I were the quarterback and it was 2nd and 33, I'd wave to the sideline. Randall, come on in. You can have this one. 2nd and 33. You betcha. As they leave Jaworski in, the quarterback that's in the ball game. Tough way to break into this league.
Cunningham avoiding the rush. And hauled down at the 25 by Rick Dennison. And here comes the punting unit. And as you saw, he was all over the punter, John Telchik, off his game last week against the Bears. This is a beauty by Telchik. Mark Jackson on the return, and good coverage by the Eagles. A 48-yard punt and a 1-yard return with 3:39 remaining in this fourth quarter. The score remains Steve Van Buren. They won it in 48 and 49. They won it with Norm Van Broncklyn in 60, but it has been a dreadful start for the Eagles, who will be 0-3 after today. Nearly picked off. Terry Hogue had a shot, the pass intended for Mark Jackson. There is Hogue, third year out of the University of Georgia. And the Broncos with Ken Bell, a rookie from Boston College, in the backfield now with Gerald Wilhite.
Steve Watson is still in the ball game, as you see a hit there. I don't know if Watson has caught a pass yet today. I don't know. He's not. Watson has not caught a pass, and his streak of 49 in a row is in jeopardy.
2nd and 10. Here's Wilhite. Out to the 33-yard line. Picked up 5. So Wilhite now 90 yards, 11 carries. Winder has gone over 100, 20 carries, 104 yards, looking to become the first tandem since Otis Armstrong and John Keyworth raced for better than 100 on the ground in one game. 3rd down and 5. Eric Kubiak played most of the second half. John Elway getting a rest with this game well in hand for the Broncos. Wilhite on the swing and has the first down. Renard Wilson bumped him out of bounds. It does not get much better for the Eagles. Next week, though, with their records, they were just kind of middle ground. Better to be have a, of course, you're not looking at it that way at the time, as Bell made the catch. But the Eagles last year, 5-11.
I think they finished fourth. I think the fourth place team, the first and the fourth place team play the same schedule.
Right.
So you're playing the equivalent of a first place division winning team, and you're playing all the other division winners.
Second and 3 from the 49 coming up for Kubiak, who is 7 out of 10, 67 yards, intercepted once. 2.5 to go. Fourth quarter. Kubiak overthrows. And Watson was in the area. Apparently they are trying to connect with Watson.
Says, well, he says, I tried. Watson went down on a slant and actually sat down or stopped running in an area that he thought was open. And Kubiak doesn't get to work with him that often in practice, continued to lead him and overthrew him. So Steve Watson with no catches today. Watson, with all that speed, has helped take some of the double coverage away from Watson.
Watson had 6 catches Monday night against the Steelers. Third down 3, and they go to the ground. Bell stopped, lost on the play. Reggie White among those to get to. Another Boilermaker out of Purdue with a great opportunity. Here's the 2-minute warning.
Quarterback. Do they risk bringing in injured Jim McMahon to provide a spark, or should they stick with Fuller? What would you do? Side on McMahon, who throws 3 touchdowns to spark a gutsy come-from-behind Chicago victory. The Bears made the right choice.
Interesting to see how Philadelphia head coach Buddy Ryan reacts following this blowout here today. After the blowout at the hands of the Redskins, he kind of stayed away from it, didn't want to hurt the players' morale even more. He had some strong words, though, after the close loss to the Chicago Bears.
Well, you know, what can you say? I mean, you got to go in and be honest, which I think he will be. He says, we got our tails kicked. We got to regroup from here. And that's the only way you can approach it. You have to be honest. You have to call a mistake, and build on the good things, and just hope that you're going to get going next week.
All right, it's been all Denver Broncos right from that opening kickoff on the fumble by Tatalatasi that led to the safety. And Dan Reeves can certainly afford to have the smile. He has had a very pleasant afternoon. Dan in his 6th year as head coach. When he took over back in 1981, he was the youngest head coach of the National Football League at age 36. Jack Wheel getting set to punt from his 32-yard line. Mike Waters is back, way back at his 10. And again, the good hang time. And is kicked out of bounds by Dennison. So 1:49 remaining in the game. And the Eagles.
Joe Collier, 18 years with the Denver Broncos, is really probably, I don't know, a head coach material. You talk about valuable coaches in the National Football League. He's given the signals of what he wants to play. But without that man right there, this defense would probably be, well, I don't say just another defense in the league, because they do have good personnel, but certainly not as good as it is.
2nd and 5. Quick pitch intended for Quick. Right on the coverage. Broncos going with 6 defensive backs. Along with Wright and Harden, they have Wilson and Lilly, Robbins and Hunter. So this entire Bronco roster getting playing time here today. Jackson.
Good today.
Now split wide to the left, top of your screen. Tatalatasi, nowhere to go. Steve Wilson leading the charge and on the tackle.
You talk about the dominant teams in the AFC at this point of the season. Marv, you certainly have got to include the Denver Broncos. The way they handled the Raiders 2 weeks ago, and then Pittsburgh, and now the dominant way they've come back after a short week, a Monday night game. But I also, I would think that the New England Patriots, the first few games they've played, and Seattle playing very well early on, but a lot of things can happen through the course of the season.
And here is John Telchik punting for the 5th time this afternoon. Mark Jackson is back. And they will spot it across the 20-yard line. A 43-yard punt. We're down to 49 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Watson means a lot to this ball club. I'd like to see him keep the string going.
But they're just going to run the clock out. And right here, it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. And today's MVP, Sammy Winder of the Denver Broncos. And Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. Sammy Winder, 104 yards on the ground. And Gerald Wilhite will fall short, 90 yards on 11 carries. So still a healthy day's work for the Denver backfield as this one winds down. Final seconds, another rough one for Buddy Ryan and his Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos go to 3-0. The Eagles 0-3. Denver defeating Philadelphia 33-7. We'll be back right after these words.
Well, as it's happened so often for the Broncos, the defense has set up, the special teams has set up the offense, but normally it's the passing game. Today it was the running game. Sammy Winder, Gerald Wilhite coming through in what has to be a very pleasing afternoon for Dan Reeves.
And this is a game that, as it turned out, John Elway's services were not needed. He was 7 for 12, 96 yards, and Gary Kubiak took over.
And Buddy Ryan is finding out, starting 0-3, that the honeymoon is really over, and now you have to